What is up, wrestling fans? Welcome to part 2 of our AEW roster tier list as part of the Smark Moment Smack Talk podcast. If you're listening to us on the audio-only streams, then you've just started hearing us for the past half hour or so. But if you are just clicking on the YouTube video itself, which you should because this is an interactive one, then you are seeing the screen right now. Time to go a little crazy. Woo! Still not doing this, which is really annoying. The little gears on the side are not moving anymore on Tier Maker. I'm very, very disappointed in that. I am your host, as always, Tony Mango. Joining me, as always, still the same from the first part, so I don't know why I'm doing introductions again, but just in case you don't know, I got Callum Wiggins and Robert DeFelice. So,
Hey. The women's one sexist.
Yeah,
we took care of the women's
why
division.
Why are there so many more men on this list?
Yeah, well, that's just how it works. We have
Shame on you.
2, if not 3 times as many to go through. So it's going to be a longer one. We ran down how this works before. So if you have never seen one of these tier lists before, if you have not checked out the previous one with the women's division that we did for AEW, and if you have not checked out the 2 that we did for the WWE roster in June, then I don't know what to tell you. Go ahead and check some other episodes out. You should know how this stuff works. We're going to move these things around. We're going to put them where they are. That's how it works. Very quickly, just to get the plugs out of the way, as I showed them before, if you are watching us on YouTube, which you should because we got the interactive screen on this one, then here's something to keep aware of. Hit that little join button. That brings up the same thing as the Patreon. If you go to patreon.com/smartmoment, you'll see this stuff that's on the screen right now. Lending a hand, join the Smarks Club, the Darkcast, which are Patreon exclusive. You got to pick your poison. You got the Hall of Fan. Different things like that. Take advantage of that if you so choose. If you want to help us out on the monetary side of things, help us grow a little bit. You should be checking out all the other podcasts that we got here. Scroll through main event segments and stuff because we got lots and lots of playlists, lots of content all over the place. You got the Paul Heyman SmackDown podcast. We'll talk about that a little bit later as well. And you should be hitting that like button, not hitting that dislike button. Hit that applause button if you so choose to. You hit that share button, hit the join button, hit the subscribe button, ring that notification bell. Do all that kind of stuff. If you want to check out the merchandise shops, check them out here. We got the TeePublic for Smark Moment. Check out those different types of designs. Maybe you want to get a Mayor Kane shirt or whatever, Lucha House Party. Maybe you want to vote for The Rock this year. You should have already because you should have already put your votes in. But, you got the Fanboys Anonymous side of TeePublic. You got the A-Mango Tea side of TeePublic. You got the shops for the same 3 on Redbubble. And just in case you don't know what fanboysanonymous.com is, I'm going to bring that up because I didn't do that on the other part. Let's get rid of some of these other tabs that I've got. Look at this. I got some stuff going on here. Maybe you're like, hey, what would it be like if you did a DC version of the Marvel Ultimate Alliance game? Well, I figured it out for you. Did all this work for you. Of all the characters that you could go with and so on and so forth.
Rocksteady. It's called Suicide Squad. It'll be out next year.
Will it?
It will.
Maybe you're interested in who should be the one that kills the Joker. Put that up there. So, go to fanboysanonymous.com.
Why are you giving away the content, Tony? I could see several options there.
Well, you don't know what the final verdict is at the bottom of it because I didn't scroll down that far. Aha. So, obviously, you should be checking out everything that's going on all over the place. But in particular, if you go to smarkout.com or smarkoutmoment.com, they both go to the same website. It's Smarkout Moment. You should be hanging out here 24/7. I don't know. maybe just click around constantly all day, every day. I'll pull an Austin Theory. And, obviously there's plenty of stuff going on this website all the time here. We got Halloween Havoc coming up later on tonight. So eventually, when we've got Halloween Havoc, you will be seeing the results. That's the results page. Woo. So, yeah, vote on the Champs Giving tournament. Go ahead and do that. I didn't mention that in the other one. But we are currently trying to sort out the qualifying round. Vote on your top 16 out of this list. To be perfectly honest, I didn't think about this ahead of time until the other day. I'm kind of considering removing some of these options afterward and just saying, well, they did really well, but at the same time, somebody like a John Morrison, they still can win that title. I don't know if it's fair to keep them on this list. So I'll make that decision over the course of the next 2 days. John Morrison might be taken out. MVP might be taken out. Shelton Benjamin. Anybody who's on the roster right now that is technically eligible. I mean, William Regal, he's not going to be winning a world title. So Bobby Lashley, I might take him out of the list. I don't know. What do you guys think? Should I keep him in there or should I take him out?
You do make a good point about it being they can still win it. So
Because right now, John Morrison, last time I checked, was like, yeah, he's like right at the top of this. And I'm like, you know
Yeah,
what? Is that really fair? He can win the title.
yeah. I mean, if he's got such a groundswell of support behind him, then maybe they will give him the title at some point down the line.
Right. So
So yeah, I would rule it out. I would personally rule it out of people that could potentially win it
yeah,
down the road.
I'm thinking about doing that. So apologies to anybody who they voted, 45 people so far at the very least that voted for, 42 for Bobby Lashley and however many for 40 for MVP. I am really considering knocking them out. So it's something to be aware of down the line. But I'll figure it out today or tomorrow and maybe do some kind of bonus round in the finals when we sort out this bracket because it's all the TBD. So we'll sort that out in the next day or so. And here's the other thing. This is what we're doing right now. We're doing the men's roster for the AEW side of things. As far as October 2020, obviously some things are going to change in given years. We're going to add more people. We're going to take people away. These champions might not be necessarily the same. This one's already not. But they don't let you really change a lot of things around.
It's an old list.
Yeah.
It's like I made this about 4 months ago. There are certain people that aren't on this. There's one person right at the bottom that we're not even going to discuss. We're not even going to mention his name. He's down there in No Longer Elite.
Yeah.
And that is as much as you'll hear about him in this entire segment. But yeah, so I've got it up to date up until October 2020. It's just that tier maker, the way that it works, means that you can't get rid of
you weren't
people.
able to find a picture of Rusev?
He's down there. There's Miro in the bottom right.
I'm not seeing him.
Right down there above right next
yes,
to Big Will
yes,
Hobbs.
I couldn't see him because I forgot what Rusev looks like now that he has not Rusev looking hair.
Yeah, those ones aren't alphabetical because they were the last ones that I added to it.
They have an inability to sort things the way that you would think that they should be sorting things. But that's on them, not on us. Callum did a great job with this, so thank you, Callum. That's not alphabetical order because that comes before these two. Yeah.
I did want to add a little bit of a caveat to this one that we didn't do for the women's side of things because there was a lot less people. But I think similar to the way we did it with the WWE side of things, we need to be a bit picky about who we put where.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking that the elite tier should be no more than 6 people.
I think
you want to just get rid of that now then?
I think we need to narrow down the elite to a few people. I don't know about necessarily 6. Might end up being where we get closer to 10. Maybe we end up actually only figuring out like 4.
Well, I just think that with a roster this size, because it's a roster of about 50 something people, you kind of like the main event tier should be, I don't think it should be any bigger than about 8 people because realistically you're not going to have any more top stars than that in a company of that size.
I don't think we're going to come. I don't think that there's a chance that we go 10 necessarily.
No, I don't think there will be, but I think it needs to be.
Yeah.
It needs to be elite as it suggests. Like we need to be very selective about it.
Well, let's take out a couple easy ones, whether they're super high up or super low. Remember, everybody, No Opinion is not the lowest ranked. Neither is No Longer Elite. No Longer Elite is just that they're not a part of the company anymore. No Opinion is kind of just like we don't really know. Like, technically speaking, if they would have had a picture for Anthony Ogogo, he hasn't done a single thing. So all he's done has been on the commentary for Dark. You can't have an opinion about the guy when he does that. Except for the fact that he wasn't really great on Dark. But
I think it'll be less likely to be used on this one than it was on the women's side of things. But I think there's like maybe 1 or 2 names we'll be able to put in that one.
Did they have him? Oh, they have him press 10. Okay, I thought that this was it's small enough. I thought it was Presto Vance. I'm like, where is he? He's in Presto Changeo now. Is that what they're going to go with? Yeah. So there's going to be some highs, some lows. Obviously, more so in the middle, just because that's what the whole bell curve kind of thing is. You tend to have more in the middle. What are some easy ones? Moxley and Elite?
Absolutely. No question or doubt in the mind of that one.
Kenny Omega and Elite?
I would say so. I mean, Callum's probably going to say this Kenny Omega, maybe not. But
this Kenny Omega is still Elite.
Can we just do this? If we're going to have 6 in Elite, it's Jericho, Cody, and the Bucks, right?
Well, the Bucks can't be in it.
Cody's elite.
They're not. Yeah, Cody's elite. But I think the Bucks, because they're not singles main eventers, can't be in there.
Fair enough. So Jericho, elite.
I'd consider
Jericho's-
tossing the Bucks at the very least for right now because these aren't final.
yeah, they
like
definitely
we
should be
can
great.
we can move around.
Yeah. They're definitely at least great.
Yeah.
But I think Jericho should be elite as well.
Jericho's elite.
Right now, he's still elite.
Jericho is not as elite as he should be to me, yet he's still elite. Because we also are, keep in mind, everybody, we're ranking these based off of what they're doing now. We're not ranking them for their full career. Of course, full career, Jericho is elite. If you go with politics, it's starting to get down there. But, somebody, for instance, like, who do we got on this list? Like Trent. Trent is a guy that if you were to go with his career in WWE, he's friggin' stick to dark. If you were to go with his career outside of WWE, he is so much higher up. If you go with his strictly AEW career, let's take care of Trent. I think Trent is more towards the great side, actually, but I can see us putting him in all right. I actually would go great.
Given the list, I'd put him in great.
I think he's great as well.
Okay, good. I'm glad about that. Actually, Trent's one of those guys that I like a lot.
I was a bit surprised about how good I think he's been because he's someone who's a bit like milk toast for me. Because I don't think he has a huge amount of personality, but some of the matches that him and Chuck Taylor have been having on TV have been great. And I think it was the idea that they released recently that they have the best winning record as a team out of anybody in AEW.
Oh, hey, we got another one for no longer elite. Shima.
Is Shima no longer actually part of the
All
Elite family? Oh, that's a shame because I was going to have to put him in no opinion anyway. So that's like,
yeah, he at the very most I would have put stick to dark because I wasn't super impressed.
All right,
but no opinion would have been where he is. But yeah, if he got released or whatever, then
let's put a couple in stick to dark. Because there's two that immediately spring to mind, which is Luther and Michael Nakazawa.
Okay, let's. I agree. Yeah. Let's just get that out of the way.
Naka. So gotta do that. We don't have Serpentico on this, right? They never put him on the website.
Got signed like this.
Yeah. He hasn't. He wasn't signed at the time that I put this together. So
I haven't been seeing too much about him. I would have put him in no opinion at this point.
He would be. He would be stick to dark for me.
So let's have a look at some other people. So we've got
Jungle Boy. I'd go great.
Yep,
he's great. Yeah, he's definitely he's got so much potential.
Can I put? I'm gonna make a petition for Miro and Meh.
This Miro.
I mean, I'm considering stick to dark even at this point.
I'd say Meh at this point, just because. But it's just a case of he's had 2 matches, neither of them were particularly good.
Can we create a please stop category for Matt Hardy?
I mean, if it's please stop fighting Sammy Guevara, you're gonna die. That could probably be.
No, it's just please stop. You're gonna die. Like just in general.
Matt Hardy's all right.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah,
he should be great. Maybe I think at the moment he's just all right.
Yeah, I'd go all right.
It also seems a bit odd that he's still got the he's still broken on the roster page. Maybe he's not actually. I don't think he's actually broken on the real roster page. I think that was when I got it out at that point in time.
Can we put? Go ahead.
I was gonna say we got Jungle Boy up here for great. I'd go Luchasaurus great.
I would as well.
Marco Stunt, I'm not a fan of. I'd go stick to dark.
Yep, I'm not arguing with you there.
Oh, that's a shame. I like him as like the Spike Dudley of AEW.
He's fine, but
then he should be Meh.
I don't even think that he's Meh. I think that he's a one-note gimmick that is not funny anymore.
Speaking of one-note gimmicks,
you gonna put Orange Cassidy out there now?
Oh no! If we're going Orange Cassidy, I'd honestly put him in elite. I think he is fucking amazing.
He's great in the ring, and he's got
put a pin in that one because I'm not sure where I want to.
I still not sure. At the moment, put him in great, but I just don't know whether I'm going to put him into elite yet because he's going to be no lower than great. I think.
I'll keep him here for now at the very least because I am so high on Orange Cassidy. I've been from the very beginning. I think that this dude's just awesome.
Well, can I put someone else in? Just add another person to elite? Because if we end up having just either the 6, somewhere between 6 and 10, Adam Page has got to be in elite.
Yeah.
A guy that I thought would be in great at this point in time, he's actually elite. So
I'd be okay with either of these 2 options. I would lean more towards great. You thinking
I think
elite too, Rob?
I'm thinking elite. I mean,
I think he's a bigger babyface than a lot of the guys next to him there.
Eddie Kingston is great. I'd put him in great.
I'd go all right.
And I think he's great, just because of his promo work recently. Because I'm worried that we're putting like maybe too many of those ones, so maybe it'll be someone that I revise down. But at the moment, I would be happy putting him.
QT Marshall should stick to dark.
He's good. He's a good worker.
Sure. So is everybody on this list, or 90% of the people on this list.
QT Marshall's one of those guys that if he got released, it wouldn't budge anything, in my opinion, about AEW. Like he's totally fine.
But I think he's more meh, because
I'll put him in meh.
I'd put meh because I'd put Brandon Cutler in meh as well.
Okay, that's
Brandon Cutler's in that same boat.
So. I mean, Brandon Cutler can't be great or elite. I mean, he just won his first match. But we're not going strictly kayfabe. We're going, potential and everything. I'd go all right.
I'll put him in meh. I think he's a perfect balance for meh.
I'm okay with meh.
Yeah, I think he's someone who could go up. Like if they start giving him a few wins now off the back of that first win, then maybe they're starting to. And same with Peter Avalon. I put him in there as well, even though the gimmick is annoying. But maybe it will change his gimmick because some of the work he's actually doing is pretty good.
I'd go more so stick to dark.
Character.
I mean, I like what he's doing, but at his own expense, kind of.
That's true, but I kind of feel like his character is more entertaining to me than the three underneath him. I think he's on the lower end of meh, but I think he's still meh rather than stick to dark.
What are you thinking, Rob?
Yeah, I think
these two,
he should be on the exact level as Avalon. I mean, as Cutler.
Because I just feel like I kind of feel like the idea of like stick to dark is like someone that I'm not going to be interested in seeing. Like I would like to see, I'd be okay seeing more of Peter Avalon on just the actual shows.
Well, if we go,
so let's get these two out of the way.
If we go with stick to dark as like we don't like them, like then Peter Avalon is higher up.
I like Marco. I'm not saying I don't like him. I mean,
well, I mean like the kind of like not necessarily like I hate this person, it's a piece of shit or something like that, but like more so just like it's not doing anything for me, that kind of thing. Then Avalon goes higher up because I do like Avalon as like a character. So I'll
put Sunny Kiss in meh.
Yeah, I can see that. Sunny Kiss has a lot of upsides, but not the ability to go.
I could make an argument for all right, but I think Sunny needs to be in high-profile matches before.
I think he needs to do more before he gets there. Because I'm still not super impressed with his in-ring stuff. So I'm looking at the people that we can put into all right, and two people that immediately spring to mind a Private Party.
Yeah,
because they're entertaining, but I still think they're pretty green.
I
would definitely put in there.
All right at singles.
I'd go so far as to where is Cassidy on here?
Isaiah is
there he is.
First on the there you go.
I'd go so far as to say Mark Quinn. All right. Isaiah Cassidy, meh.
I like Cassidy, the one that had the match with Jericho.
Yeah, he wrestled Jericho.
Maybe it's just maybe it's just the shrieking that bothers me more than anything.
That pissed me off. I mean, they both pissed me off in that regard. But it's just a case of I think they're too tied that I wouldn't feel comfortable putting one down. It's like not that every
we're not
tag
talking
team needs to be like
Michaels and Jannetty here. Like these guys are equals.
It's not that big of a difference. You're right.
Whereas like obviously I'd put like you said we've got Trent in great, and I'd put Chuck in all right. Chuck's a good wrestler.
Oh, we didn't do Chuck
yet? Obviously a bit goofier. No, we haven't done Chuck yet. Chuck's all right.
I'd go meh.
I think he's a better wrestler than that. He's a better wrestler than that.
Two for all right.
To be clear, and so is Rusev, but he's in meh because he's more concerned about video games right now, and I just don't like
the character's meh at the moment.
Yeah, like Colt Cabana's in all right.
Yeah, he's all right.
He's good. Yeah.
I couldn't go great for Colt at all.
No. Both members of FTR are great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean they are a tag team, so it's kind of like they're on the same level as that for sure.
Yeah, obviously, if I'm not putting the Bunks in the elite side of things, then you have to put them at the same level because I think they're at a similar level right now.
The
Scorpio Sky is great.
The FTR side of things, if you had this as one, like I could bring both of them up in one shot, I'd go elite. But if you go individually, Cash Wheeler himself, if it was just like, hey, he's a singles guy now, he's not elite. Like they're a package deal the same way as these two are. So that's one of those things to deal with. We're actually breezing through this pretty quickly.
Yeah, well, Sunny Kiss is great, and I think Sunny Kiss deserves Sunny Kiss. What you said, Scorpio Sky. Sorry,
Scorpio
is great. So.
Yeah, Scorpio's great.
He's impressed me a lot. I think both Frankie and Christopher Daniels going all right though.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'd almost even lean Daniels down to meh at this point.
I'm not putting Daniels below. All right.
I think I agree to that step. It's just like if he was going either up or down, he's going on a downward trajectory to me as opposed to an upward one.
Yeah.
So let's get these two out in one shot. Alan Angels and Preston Vance. I say meh. What do you say?
I can't tell the difference between the two of them. I don't know which one is which.
I would go stick to dark for Alan Angels. And I'd go
stick to dark.
Meh for Preston.
I can't tell them apart either. So
Preston's the bigger guy.
John Silver is great.
And I'm not if you go with his work on being the elite, he's fucking elite. He is the best part of that show. But
John Silver,
I'd go great.
That clip that people were showing around of him doing the Cesaro hot tag thing is just it's just like think of someone saying it's like putting Cesaro in a like a hot wash. You get John Silver.
I'm not putting him in great, but I'll put him in all right.
Is that 2 for a great?
I think I want to put him in great, but at the moment he's all right.
He's all right.
I wouldn't put him at that sort of level, but he is so much fun to watch.
I was entertaining that idea of that because he is great.
Yeah.
Reynolds has to be meh.
Yeah.
Yeah, at the moment, yeah.
Austin Gunn, no opinion.
Yeah, you know what? We don't have anybody for no opinion. I have no opinion about him.
I mean, I'd put him on stick to dark personally, but it's just a case of like I guess there's no opinion because he doesn't have a character. His character is Billy Gunn's son.
Yeah.
Speaking of, Billy Gunn should stick to dark.
Yeah, he's not Billy Gunn.
I'd go meh.
I would be okay putting him in there because he can still work. He's just not very. He's a meh. I know some people that I put in a meh as well. Is one person I put in meh is Jack Evans.
I'd go stick to dark.
He's that bad.
Yeah, I'm not gonna put him in stick to dark. Him and Angelico are meh.
No, Angelico's all right, I think.
I'd go meh too. Is that 2 for meh or 2 for?
He needs more exposure. I understand what you're saying though.
If you go entrance,
maybe I'm allowing my Lucha
Underground. Because you're thinking like Lucha Underground and stuff. Yeah, I agree with you, but AEW wise,
yeah,
he needs more exposure.
Entrance wise, because I think it's funny.
He's pretty good, yeah. Pretty good.
But yeah, once you start getting into that, what do we do with Janela? Janela, I'm not big on. Honestly, he's here and here.
He's either meh or stick. I think he's meh because I wouldn't be like okay with him totally going away, but like it's just it's not great for him so far.
All right, here's a tough one because listen, COVID beat the crap out of this one, but Pac has got to be either great or elite, right? Like I know he hasn't been there, but
I can't go elite for him.
I'd say great.
Yeah, like he would have been.
We've seen him, even though he's been away for a while, we've seen enough of him to know he's going to be like he would be a great TNT champion.
Yeah, that's true. I'm fine with him going in great. I can't make the case for him being an elite.
I'd put
MJF in elite.
Oh, he's elite, yeah.
I forgot about we didn't take care of him.
MJF has to be in there. MJF has to be in there. I'd put Darby's great.
Yeah, gonna be
someone who's pivoting towards elite.
If that's 2 for great, then yeah, I'd lean more towards all right. I haven't been as big on him lately. But
Darby is going to be such a big deal that that's all I can see is him being
if his body survives the next few years.
Sammy Guevara is great.
He's great, yeah.
Future
Butcher
elite for sure.
Oh, he's future elite. I'd say both. Proud and Powerful are great as well.
I'd agree.
Yeah, overall, because that's another tag team that they know what they're doing. Where is Santana? There he is.
Yeah.
So we had a nice clean list until Santana got
now. Yeah.
You wrote it.
It's all right. If we put a few more in, it means that we'll get Jimmy Havoc off the screen entirely soon. So.
Let's go.
Lucha Bros, Mexicans.
I hate that song so much. I'd go all right.
Where do you want to put them?
I'm not as
impressed.
All
right to Pentagon. I put Phoenix and great.
Phoenix is great.
I think Phoenix is better than Pentagon is right now.
Yeah.
So that's two
I agree.
for great for him.
Yeah, just because he's like, I think Pentagon at the moment is just going too easy.
Can I put Grayson and Uno in meh? Like,
I
could we
think they're
just
all
like?
right.
I'd go more
think-
so meh.
I think
Two for
they're
meh.
more on the okay.
I'd go Butcher and the
what about
Blade
Butcher and
or
Blade?
Stick to Dark.
No, they're meh.
Well, I think like I don't.
Well,
I-
yeah,
like,
that's a
I'd
little
put
too
them in
harsh.
there, but
I'd go meh. Yeah.
I'd put them in there, but then I'd also put Dark Order above them because I think Dark Order are better than those two.
I think overall, they're not all right for me, but yeah, Stick to Dark is a little too too harsh.
Look, that's well, we can fill out the all right side a little bit with a few people. So Kip Sabian's all right.
I agree.
Yeah, he's all right.
Lance Archer's all right.
I'd go potentially great for Lance Archer.
I think he's great. Lance Archer's great. Yeah.
Okay, I haven't seen it here. Yeah.
See, I think Sean Spears is all right.
I'd go great.
I mean,
all right.
yeah, he's just it's just he hasn't done enough really. I think so far.
I remember when he used to say 10.
That's where is this guy? This guy's job.
Yeah, I think it's an interesting bunch of people we have left because I think that most of them are almost leaning towards great.
Well, Wardlow, I can't say is great. Wardlow's
all right.
Wardlow's somewhere around here. I'd go more so all right because he hasn't really been doing much but squashes.
No, but I can't. That match with Jungle Boy was really good, and that match with Cody and Steel Cage was actually pretty good as well. So I think they're being very deliberately not exposing him yet, and that's not because he's bad. I think they're actually just trying to save him because they know that he's good.
Haven't seen enough of Will Hobbs to do anything other than all right.
He's all right at the least.
Yeah, he's doing pretty well for himself.
Yeah,
got a contract.
Dustin is great. All right,
Dustin is amazing.
Dustin, I should not be this good.
Yeah, he shouldn't be this good at this how you.
Yeah, it's a shame because it's like, man, if Dustin, who knows how to wrestle and everything the way he does now, and was as thin as he was when maybe like a couple years ago. I mean, he's in good shape now, but a couple of years ago he was in even better shape. If you got those two elements and you put that back even with like 95 Gold Dust,
yeah,
or the natural Dustin Rhodes, could have been a real big deal,
Yeah.
Like he got it too late, which is a shame.
You can feel free to disagree with me on this one. I'm saying Jake Hager, meh.
I'd go all right.
I'd go all right as well. I think he's slightly better than there, but he's leaning more towards the meh side of things. And
these are interesting.
There's three interesting people.
I like all three of these, but I feel like all three of them haven't lived up to their potential.
Ricky Starks is great.
Out of the three of them,
I'd probably put all three on great.
I'd put all three of them on great, like probably, but it's just
I would.
We might do a bit of rearranging afterwards, but at the moment, I put all three of them on great. So that we can start looking at seeing like maybe trying to even out a little bit because there's quite a lot on great right now.
If we end up blocking this, I think we did this quicker than the women's.
We're just talking about them a little bit because we know how good a lot of these guys are.
Well, I think it's like, yes, great is full, but great also has a lot of tag teams.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's the idea of like a lot of them are a bit more tag team based in AEW than they are in other promotions. So, but looking at some of them, like if I was to drop some from great into all right, the ones that probably are giving me the most attention are maybe
I'd drop Kingston and Phoenix.
I'd put Santana and Ortiz in all right if we're gonna look at them as an overall package instead of being like just their tag team stuff.
But I think they're just too good to try and put that in instead. Like the ones that I'm looking at is probably Starks at the moment is the one that's screaming out most to me, just because I know he's got a lot of potential, but it's like at the moment he's not positioned that much. Like Kingston should be an all right just because where he is, but like he's just too good on the microphone that I can't.
He's too good on the mic.
I can't put him anywhere else but other than great. And I'm still slightly annoyed that Orange Cassidy's in elite.
He's still totally elite to me.
He's an elite character.
It is true,
and he's so good in the ring.
He's very good in the ring when he gets to just do his stuff.
Somehow this dude had a gimmick that should be a dark gimmick and should be not like Dark Order, but like stick to dark in theory. And he should have been a total jobber. And he's a guy that it's like, you know what? If he won that TNT title, I'd be like, yeah, it makes sense.
I mean, you might still do.
There's
tonight.
Oh yeah, there's
tonight, yeah.
Well, goodbye spoilers.
Oh,
They didn't tape it.
Yeah, they did.
Oh yeah, they did, huh?
Yeah.
But,
All right.
Nice one, Tony. Ruined my evening. But maybe it's just the case.
Well, last time
AEW
spoilers
has
were
a
wrong,
lot-
so keep that in mind.
Yeah.
Abaddon
Maybe
actually
AEW
injures
just-
Takashi.
Maybe it's just because the AEW just has a load of great wrestlers. Obviously, they have tons and tons of great wrestlers, but it's just a case of like maybe it's just there's a lot of them that could be positioned to be right moving on to like the really elite level in a short amount of time.
And there's some people that like we've done before with, when we did Awesome Kong and we were like, well, you can't judge her as like she was for the rest of her career and whatever. Like Billy Gunn, I've been a big fan of for my entire life. I never would have put him at elite necessarily, but if you go full career, I'd go great. AEW, he's not great because he's just kind of hanging out. So, you were super into Angelico from Lucha Underground. I never saw any of it. I have only seen Angelico in AEW.
They need to give him some sort of building to jump off of. and then everyone would love Angelico.
And I've never seen
literally like what
Super Smash
Bros.
Bros.
What he's known for.
Him and Darby Allin are gonna do like the first ever Jackass decathlon or something.
I'd be down for it as long as they didn't actually get hurt, but can't really help it in these side of things. I mean, the likelihood is that once they get over this like really rocky start, the Miro is going to eventually be great and maybe even elite.
And I mean, if they don't do anything with him, Sky can easily drop from great to all right.
Yeah.
Because we're going off of their potential now, but if they squander it, then
I think we've got them ranked in a mixture of like what their potential is and what they've done with them so far.
Yeah.
So I feel like the 7 people we have at top are the 7 people they've really put the most focus on.
Yeah, like even Cassidy, like you can say, like, is he really elite? But of all the silly characters, because if you look at this list, there's a lot of cartoon going on here, and Cassidy would be the elite representation of that.
It's crazy to me that Brian Cage is not elite, but he doesn't deserve it.
He doesn't.
No, yeah.
But it's like the guy's one of the biggest dudes, and he's athletic as hell. And for some reason, their idea for a lot of these people is bring them in, make them a big deal, have them fight for the championship, have them lose, and then we'll figure out what to do with them later on. And it's like, damn it, what's up with these companies doing this whole, we'll figure it out, and then they don't do it. Like Cage.
And AEW's got a huge problem with that. Look at Brody Lee.
Yeah, Brody Lee, same thing. It's like he has so much more potential, yet.
Yeah, but obviously you can't have everyone at the top. It's like any other company. It's like you can't just.
Granted, but then they shouldn't bring them in, shoot them to the top just to lose, because then you're sending the message that, hey, they're not that good.
Well, no, but I think that it sends them like it's better than like starting them at the bottom. Obviously, you could start them at the bottom and work their way up if they want to do this sort of thing. But it makes them feel like a bigger deal coming in. Like immediately gives them some sort of level of credibility. They might lose the title match, but then they're just right back there. And Brody's already won the TNT Championship. I think he's fine in that regard.
Maybe that's why they're doing it.
Original, 2 of the OG signs that I thought would have been higher on the list, honestly, Pentagon and Sean Spears. If we take them like last year from before Dynamite even started, I would have assumed, all right, Sean Spears is a guy they can really build around, and maybe he'll be in that great territory. And Pentagon, I would have even thought may be in the elite class, but he's definitely not had a good run.
Spears is a guy that has the tools to be great. He's not great on the mic, but he's got a lot of the tools, yet for some reason they just don't really want to push him to that level.
No.
And until he wins at least the TNT championship, it's hard to argue for him for great. Like I would want him to be up there, but it makes more sense for him to be in all right.
He's the good hand that Cody always said he was.
Yeah, I know, which is like, that's exactly why he left WWE. And it's like, well, maybe you could have just...
that's been happening with a lot of people, it seems. Like, you go to AEW and it's like, oh man, I'm going to go here because it's going to be so different. And then you're like, you know what? Sometimes it really isn't. Like,
I think
Brody
both
Lee.
Ambrose and the Revival would disagree with you in that regard.
Right,
Well,
but
see,
I would look at
those two, they were still a big deal in the tag team division in
No, they
WWE.
weren't. They were tag team champions. It's not a big deal because tag team is a big deal in WWE.
But see, that's where the difference is. They were a big deal in a division that doesn't matter. They're a big deal in this division too, and it matters. So that's good for them because they actually feel like they're doing something more because they actually are doing something more. But it's like,
and Moxley,
they
I
were
would
top tier
argue-
in WWE as far as tag teams go. You know?
Yeah,
but that says so very little. But Moxley, I'd argue, listen, he was always a top guy. I understand that he personally had a miserable experience, but as far as Dean Ambrose being booked, Dean Ambrose was never like completely.
He was a goofball.
He was a goofball in the sense of like, okay, he didn't like the way his character was presented, but he also
driving a cart full of hot dogs and mustard down to the ring and like spraying it onto someone and filling Seth Rollins' Money in the Bank briefcase full of green slime.
No, I get that, but I'm saying as far as like his position on the card, he was, WrestleMania Brock Lesnar. Not many people get to say that.
Yeah, he was always at least upper mid card.
I get that side of things. It's just a case of like, it's not so much for me. It's not so much like what level they were in WWE compared to what they were in AEW, because John Moxley is on a similar level. The Revival are on the similar level, but it's just a case of, well, but they're not, because we actually care about them and they're actually doing something that they actually feel like characters they wanted to be in AEW, as opposed to this other stuff. Don't just do that while I'm talking. How dare you?
Reminders to everybody.
Subscribe. I might stop talking. That's great.
Some people like Sammy Guevara, big fan of him, and in some ways,
soon.
I mean, some other ways we can.
I think
but
I think he's one of those ones that you'll push up to elite soon. I think like if I'm looking at like trajectories of some of these people, I'm seeing both Darby Allin and Sammy Guevara going up to elite in the next like year or two. Maybe Jungle Boy at some point as well.
I hope Brian Cage.
And then Brian Cage potentially, definitely. You got Will Hobbs will go up to great. I think Wardlow will go up to great soon. In terms of a downward trajectory, I think eventually Dustin will fall off, and Jericho will go into either great or all right or something.
Yeah,
because eventually time just catches up to anybody. But there's a lot of people that are going up and downwards. Some people will always be in there because like Billy Gunn's never going to get past there at this point. So
if Jericho plays his cards right, he can retire at elite.
I mean, if he retired right
now,
yeah,
he'd be elite. Yeah.
Well, God, guys.
It's a shame, but it's like John Silver is probably never going to be under the great level unless it's just the idea of it being like, I was this like spunky, funny guy like that. But
he can carve out a niche for himself as the R-Truth of AEW now.
That guy's fucking hilarious. It's great.
What just say like if there's anybody from the I know obviously they've got Colt Cabana who's kind of like a pseudo heel at this point in time because he's kind of like in the Dark Order but doesn't feel part of it. But if there's anyone that's going to break out of Dark Order as a babyface, it has to be John Silver.
Yeah, pretty much. And you know what? It would seem like these two should be the goofball Dark Order tag team, whereas like
it's actually him and Uno.
It's weird because it's like these two are the goofballs, these two are the tag team, and then these two are the ones that are the idiots. And it's like, what the hell's going on here? And then you get Stu Grayson, who was like the serious guy, and he's kind of an idiot now. And Alan Angels is kind of an idiot, and Preston Vance is kind of an idiot. They've really on BTA.
No, they've really hammered home that there are just a bunch of idiots under Brody Lee.
Right. Which I'm not opposed to it 100%.
I don't mind it.
Because I mean,
I think you kind of sometimes need to do something like that to make the top guy stand out more.
Yeah. As long as they don't ever get booked where they're idiots and they're also beating, Cody and whatever, because then it doesn't make any sense. If you've got like Stu Grayson dressed up as Robin and he looks like an idiot and he's lost his credibility or whatever, and you have him fighting Orange Cassidy and MJF and whatever, and it's kind of like, oh man, he's got just as much of a chance. He shouldn't. Like, don't give Evil Uno the TNT title. He shouldn't be the TNT champion. You give it to John Silver, he runs around like an idiot, and and acts like that. I'm totally fine for it. But like Colt Cabana, he could win the TNT title. He's got the
He can be
reputation
serious
behind him.
Yeah.
So
don't need to be serious. I mean, Orange Cassidy's not serious, and we got him in.
Well, no,
Yeah.
what I mean is like he needs to be a credible.
Yeah, he's
opponent.
more credible because he's had the history behind him more so than like an Alan Angels.
Yeah,
I was surprised because Alan Angels was the guy that I thought could be a little bit better, and it's not been working out lately.
No.
Keep one, push one, and fire one. Who you got?
Between who?
Just look at the whole roster. You can push anybody you want, keep somebody where they are, or just straight up fire one person. Who is it going to be?
Straight up fire, maybe?
I mean, I'd probably fire Nakazawa just because of that. I still haven't recovered from that shitty street fight they had where it was just like a load of toys in the ring and stuff like that. And
Poor Bailey.
Oh, we don't have Matt Sydal on this list.
Oh no, he wasn't. He is not on the. He's not on the roster.
Oh, he isn't? I thought that he signed.
No, not as of I updated it yesterday.
I haven't seen him do the Matt Sydal the All Elite thing.
He's only wrestled on Dark.
He'll be on Dynamite tonight, but that's it.
Well, I would like to say stick to Dark, but he doesn't stick to things. He slips off of them.
Matt Sydal being all right, probably.
Yeah, I mean, he's somebody who had so much more potential than he was able to actually capitalize on.
You need to be big, Tony.
So I don't know. Release. To be honest, I'd be fine with any of these getting released. Like, it's not going to do anything for me negatively if any of them go. If you lose Marco Stunt, what do you lose? The small guy that runs around the two guys that actually matter in the tag team.
I think Marco is a novelty that they can have for now.
If we see Marco versus John Silver, does that happen?
That might be fun.
That'd be
John Silver being the power game and stuff.
No, because I want to see the John Silver Brian Cage match they did in PWG where John Silver was the power guy against Brian Cage, the luchador.
Yeah. So if you push, and what was the other thing?
Push, fire, and just you think somebody's perfect where they are.
I mean, you think Orange Cassidy's perfect where he is. So.
Perfect where they are. I'd say Kazarian being under all right. And push. I think I'd lean more towards. I want Brian Cage to be a bigger deal. He should be a bigger deal. The dude's jacked and good looking and athletic. Why the hell is he not a bigger deal? He's got a mouthpiece, so it's not like it's like, oh, he can't cut a promo, so whatever. Like Taz can sit there and stumble over things and make that entertaining. Yeah. Tough. Tough guy Jones.
Okay, so I would for Let Go, and I know I'm probably the only one here, but I'd let Janela go. He's not adding anything to your roster. He seems like he more so enjoys the independent scene. They treat him like a god on the independent scene, so let him go be on the independent scene. For one who's perfect right where they are, I'm going to say Kip Sabian. And all right, I don't see him going up or down in either direction. And for push, I think Darby Allin should be in your world title picture in the next 12 months.
If I had to release anyone, it would be Nakazawa. I know you're friends with Kenny, but you're not adding anything to my enjoyment of these shows. One I'd push, I mean, I want to say John Silver, but the one that I realistically would push is actually Wardlow. There's something about him that makes me feel like he's got so much more potential that they're not showing yet. And the one that's perfect where he is, I think, is John Moxley. I think he's your perfect main event, top level guy.
I'll agree with that. This is a very easy discussion with you today, gentlemen.
Not a whole lot of super big debates. We got some that we agree and disagree on. Like,
I'm willing to let some go and stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, I'd move Phoenix lower. I'd move Kingston lower. Like, whatever it is. But it's like that's where the consensus comes in. You got 2-1, and I don't think that there's anything that's some out of the blue, what, you got to be kidding me type of thing. Like, if if two people would have been like, hey, the Butcher goes into Elite, it'd be like, what, you fucking gotta be kidding me. Come on, he's not Elite. Like, compared to these,
Yeah,
like,
he got a world title shot.
he did?
Yeah, that episode of that
Yeah, he did.
random episode of AEW TV, he just got a title shot when Kingston wasn't fighting.
Stop skipping through Dynamite.
Stop having it right after NXT, and I won't.
Well, it's during NXT.
Well, yeah, I try to watch it afterward. I'm honestly, like, tonight, I'm not even sure if I'm gonna watch it afterward. I might watch Big Brother afterward, like, just sort of take a break between the two and watch. I was gonna say watch TNA. Watch AEW tomorrow. I'm not gonna watch TNA. Let's be honest. Well, especially because they're Impact. But
yeah, they killed the guy.
You know who did it? The baby.
I said that already to somebody.
Did you do the cough?
No, I did. Well, Bill from WrestleZone is thinking about doing a whodunit murder mystery podcast, and I just said, "Oh, it's the baby."
You got to do the Troy McClure. Then they found out it was the baby. Yeah, so that's the tier list for the AEW side for the men's division. If you didn't check out the women's division, go ahead and check that out. If you want to check out the WWE side, I'm sure the fact that we did that in June means that a lot of things could be switched around a little bit. But, you know, we can't just do this like once a month or something. But if you do want us to do more tier lists, remember, go over to Patreon, pick your poison, get to request it. It's kind of the whole point. This obviously you can't do any kind of like promotional stuff. You can't be like,
but you know what? If you want to be really special, that platinum level Hall of Fame.
Yeah, that's it. If you read these, it's like I don't even know what the fuck you get because I'm not expecting anybody to do that. I put them there more as just because I had the idea in my mind about like bronze, silver, gold, platinum, and I was like, yeah, I'll put them out there, you know, whatever.
We need to add stuff to it. Like if you are the Hall of Fame platinum level, you get exclusive to Tony's premium OnlyFans account.
I will maybe I will make an OnlyFans account and make that platinum level, and you can get I don't know, shots my ass or something.
I think we should put out a challenge for 12 people to subscribe to that platinum tier, and you get to dictate basically what we do all of the next year, you know? And at the same time, you're paying for Tony's wedding.
Pretty much, yeah. I would love. Maybe I need to create the Patreon has a wedding tier or something because everything's so freaking expensive. I hate it. Yeah, so keep that in mind. Obviously, I mentioned before, if you hit that subscribe button, you hit the join button, you hit that like button, you hit the share button. Save's not really going to help anything, but you can save it. Why not? Just kind of start hitting other buttons. Don't hit that one, though. Don't do that one. Whoever did this one, fuck you.
Also over on the YouTube, there's the playlist for the Paul Heyman SmackDown podcast. And that's a big project me and Callum are doing, and Callum's going to tell you more about it.
Yeah, I can do that now if I'm diving into plugs. So Paul Heyman SmackDown is where we go back. Me and Roll go back to the year 2002 right now, and we're checking through all the episodes of SmackDown that Paul Heyman was the head writer for. So as you can see, we start from like episode 0, a little preliminary episode, and it goes all the way through now to episode 18. We've got up there. Episode 19 will be up soon. I do like my titles of these ones as well. I kind of like.
Yes, I was very proud of the I now pronounce you Chuck and Billy.
Yeah, Rob came up with that one. Yeah, but just yeah. So it's so episode 19 will be coming up soon. That's an episode following the Big Show's debut. So he'll have his first match on SmackDown. We got other stuff coming up as well. Yeah, other stuff coming up in like the it's the Halloween special, isn't it? Forgot all about it. Yeah, it's the Halloween special, episode 19. So yeah, where they get to do some great Halloweeny themed backstage hijinks. So yeah, check out that episode. Obviously, check out all the stuff on smarkmo.com. Tony's already shown that beforehand. If you want to go on like Smarkmo, you can check out the Fantasy League. See where everyone's standing right now.
If you're interested in where that is on here, I'll show you guys because it might be a little bit hard to find because I don't want to have a whole dedicated section for one link. But if you find it on here, there's a little Track the Fantasy League under there because it's it's a gimmick. It's a feature. So here's all our weekly gimmicks, as you can see.
Yeah. And that's where, if you click on the Fantasy League, you get to see all the rules and stuff from there. And right at the bottom, you get to see where we're all standing right now, which is me on top of everyone.
Get off me,
yeah.
You know,
I'm
idea that I'm still At
sucks.
the very bottom.
Well, it won't be the same. It hasn't been updated for this week yet, so you won't be very soon. But
Okay, so I was
but-
gonna say, like, you
Yeah,
know,
to be
I'm
fair,
pretty sure I'm winning.
to be fair, it wasn't that bad. Like there was a time, like quite a little while ago, where I was like had more points than everyone else combined, and you guys are slowly starting to catch up and starting to get more points. So,
How the hell
so maybe it'll be more.
did I go from being not that far off from you at the very start
You had some really bad weeks.
to being I had for this time frame 2 of the world champions.
Legitimately, Roman is getting all of your points pretty much. Like,
Yeah, what the hell is going on
like
with
Drew
this?
hasn't like Drew hasn't been wrestling. Keith
Rhea
Lee's been
just
a complete-
disappeared in the fucking
Keith Lee's
nowhere.
Keith Lee's been getting a load of DQs.
Yeah, what the fuck is the matter with these people? Like Sasha, she pulled through with me for this week. Thanks, Rob.
This week Tony will be pushing a lot closer to maybe getting like somewhere near me. But yeah, that's what all the fantasy league stuff. So you can check out there. I also put regular updates in the Mega Maniacs and stuff like that. So make sure you check all of that stuff out. There's all the other weekly articles and all the other gimmicks that you should check out on the website. Follow me on Twitter at Weekmeister14, and I hand you over to Robert DeFelice.
Rob is the Transformer.
Yeah.
Oh God.
There he goes. Now he's back.
There you go. Yeah, fine.
All right, I'll do this quick. Fightful, WrestleZone, Twitter at DudeFelice, and you guys know the rest.
And if you
Very
go
efficient, yeah.
to Twitter and you hop on over to Tony Mango, which you can find once it loads for me, spelled out that way. Follow that, because I have so many things that I'm working on. Is this still the pictures that pop? I barely upload any pictures, I guess. That's the thing. Why do I have Sony Develop on there? What is this?
Sad Tony and the hamster wheel.
Let's be honest, we should know who she should end up with. Yeah, what is the sad Tony and the hamster wheel thing? Me being exhausted. Look at that. Nothing ever changes.
Yeah,
Yeah, I agree. It's there's the old King Mabel that Rob had got me.
Holy shit.
But yeah, follow all that stuff. Follow Fanboys. Follow A Mango Tree. Follow Smark Out Moment. Go to smarkoutmoment.com and just keep clicking around. Keep listening to other things we got going on for you. And go to that Champsgiving tournament. Have some fun. Hopefully you had some fun with this tier list. And yeah, I think that's about it. The next couple things we're going to be doing is we got Full Gear coming up next week. I think. Yeah, next week. So, you know, we're going to be taking care of the predictions for that right now. Cards like filling up a little bit here and there. So, yeah, I'll be updating this.
They actually give us matches to promote.
Yeah,
just like
funny enough, they don't give us graphics, but they give us matches. So you can't have both. You know, you can't have nice things.
It's like one or the other.
But we will be taking care of that over the course of that. We'll be doing the Champsgiving tournament. Of course, we'll be doing some of this Survivor Series type of material. Hoping to do a Time Machine Dream Team. I've got Call the Spot that I'll be doing at some point. Probably not podcast form. But yeah, if you keep sticking around, you keep subscribing, you keep following us. You know, there's all these different platforms where you could do the audio only thing. You should just hit all these, you know, like and all that. Why does it say like page? I already like the page, obviously. It's kind of weird. Hit that little follow if you want to do the RSS feed, donate to the Patreon, whatever it is. Join the discussion, and yeah. All right. Well, that's it. But this has been another Smart Out Moment, and we're being counted out.